Hey, great to see everybody. Officially game week. Great to have everybody here. I just want to start by expressing my condolences, our football program's condolences to Coach Credich and his entire family. The tragic loss of their son, Ben. I cannot imagine what their family is going through. Ben, somebody that, here locally impacted a lot of people and stood for the things that were right. So I wanted to express my condolences to them. Also, Coach Fulmer, continue to wish him a speedy and well recovery. Texted back and forth with him, seems to be doing really well and in good spirits. So look forward to having him get healthy and get back around. The best 5 words in Tennessee is it's football time in Tennessee, and officially game week. Looking forward to the opportunity of going and playing with this program. It's awesome that we get an opportunity to start inside of Mid-State. Huge fan following there, but you look at the opportunity we have. We've got a great opponent. We're SEC Nation's going to be there, national TV audience as we kick off the 23 season. So looking forward to being there, having an opportunity to recruit on Friday night as well, and continue to showcase ourselves in front of the entire country, but have our followers in Mid-State have an opportunity to host us there. So looking forward to that. Ready to kick off. Time to go play. I'm here, and I'm going to say a bunch of words, but it's time to go play. So with that, I'll open it up.
Josh, especially in an opener on offense, is execution the top priority, or is tempo the top priority, or what's the relationship between those two?
On the offensive side of the ball, at the end of the day, execution is paramount. It doesn't matter how fast you play if you're not executing. But I think in openers, all 3 phases of the game, you have a game plan. Everybody's had, 7+ months of an opportunity to, subtly change who they are. Personnel is going to be different. You have to do a really good job of adjusting. You play your core principles in all 3 phases. Players got to be able to communicate, adjust. In-game adjustments are paramount in this too. So as you go to the sidelines, absolutely critical that our staff and players do a great job.
How do you feel about your return game going into the season?
Excited about the guys that we have there, but also, we've talked a lot about the depth of our program, how it's continued to grow over the 3 years here. That shows up in special teams a bunch too. So we got guys that are ready to compete, play as hard as they can on those plays, but play with great fundamentals and technique. Feel like that has an opportunity to help us in our cover units, but certainly the return game as well.
Last Monday, we talked about the awkwardness of the week before the week, I guess, but you talked about how you still needed to approach it in a proper way. Do you feel like you all took advantage of that week before the week last week?
Yeah, I do. I feel like our guys were, dialed in, did the things that we were asking them to. We moved ahead with a little bit of preparation for this coming Saturday, but we still did a lot of really good work throughout the course of it too. And every player inside of your program has got to continue to grow. Good teams do that throughout the course of the season. So, for us, that week before the week is as important as any other week.
Looking at Virginia, new quarterback wasn't there last year, but when you evaluate his film, what does he bring to the table and the rest of that skill on offense?
Yeah, been a really good decision maker, thrown for a bunch of yards, has good pocket awareness. Him being in week 1, year 1 within their system, what are the new things that they do to try to put him in a position? We'll find out on game day. But a guy that's played, really good football at a high level and been a good decision maker. So for us, we got to do a great job of handling the run game. We got to apply pressure. That can be with our pressure package, but it can also just be with our front 4. We got to make him uncomfortable inside the pocket.
What stands out about Virginia's defense?
Well, they do have some new transfers, in particular on the back end. They have experience in their front 7. They've done a good job against the run. We got to do a really good job of being dialed into, our protections, our run schemes, make sure we're targeting the right people earlier, do our assignments, handle our side at a really high level, be really good in our communication, and go execute.
When we last talked about the wide receiver unit, you mentioned there being a lot of flexibility when it comes to rotating those guys. There's clearly experience there, but maybe who's showing up to be that 1-2 kind of guy for you?
Well, we've had a lot of guys that have played really good football for us. Ramel, played really the last 8 weeks of the season for us on the right side. Brew McCoy's played at a really high level. Squirrel White, when given the opportunity last year, played extremely well. Dante's continued to come on. And 2 young guys that I've talked about, Caleb Webb, Chaz Nimrod. We feel really confident about the growth that they've had inside the program, their ability to go play at a high level.
2021, your first year, Joe Milton was your starting quarterback that year. Now, 2 years later, he has that opportunity again, stuck with the program, worked hard to get back to this chance. To see him have this opportunity again, what does that mean to you?
Excited for him. He's a guy that, did it the right way when it didn't go his way early on. He looked at himself. Here's how I need to continue to improve to get better. Trusted his coaches, the program, believed in the guys around him too inside of the locker room. Has put himself in a position to play at a really high level because of the work ethic that he's had inside of our program. The back half of that first season, he's become very mature in who he is, what he's about, how he's going to work, how he's going to impact his teammates, the leadership role. It's not just, going into the Orange Bowl. He's been that guy for a long time inside of our program. So someone that's continued to grow, has great understanding of defensive alignments, which allows us to communicate and adjust really quickly with him. I think that's really important, but has complete command of what we're doing offensively too.
Coach, just offensive line-wise, any update on Cooper and what's it look like there?
Yeah, Cooper, we'll find out here as the week goes on, his availability in this one. We've had, 2.5, 3 weeks of different guys having an opportunity to play on the interior if he's not able to go, and feel really confident in those guys.
Where are you in the secondary? I know coaches talked about rotating a lot back there. How challenging or how comfortable do you feel rotating? How deep do you think you can go there? And even with the offensive line, how deep can you go there?
Yeah, the second level, or second and third levels, I should say, we got nicked up a little bit in the middle part of training camp. I know you guys saw a little bit of that. Those guys are all back and healthy. They've been with us all of last week as well. Gotten really good work. That gives us the ability to rotate on the back end. We have a plan. We'll see how it unfolds on game day, but expect to see a lot of people rotating in. That's true at the corner, safety, and the nickel spot as we go there. The second question. Yeah, well, I do feel good about, the development of our young guys. Some of the guys that have had experience, plan on rotating some of those guys at the guards and tackle position in this first one as well.
Josh, how important was it for you, for John Campbell to come in and maybe give you guys some clarity at those tackle spots?
Well, absolutely. Competition to earn a starting spot and play at a championship level. His maturity, the amount of football that he's played, all certainly help us. And he's had a great camp. We got great trust in him, and he's played at a really high level.
I guess a little bit off the field, this will be Virginia's first game back since the tragic shootings. Just, is there anything that this team will do to either show respect or just kind of what do you think it might mean for that team to get back onto the field and just knowing the power of sports?
Yeah, obviously a horrific tragedy that took place there on their campus. They've had a long time to, try to grow through that, and you also recognize, what happened. And so there'll be a moment of silence before kickoff, and then we'll wear a decal of the 3 individuals that lost their lives on the back of the helmet. Easy week 1. All right.